This is just an update. Yesterday and today, of course, were days off from work, normal holidays, and yesterday I just kind of spent wandering around. Some days you just need to get out of the house and clear your mind, and I didn't have any of the stereotypical Christmas stuff to do, so just went out, drove around to some of my old cycling spots, and stopped in a cafe that kind of surprised me they were open in a small town. Anyway, one thing I was going to mention was that for me, driving anywhere, the closest town is in any direction is 30 miles. It doesn't matter which direction I go. This is very somewhat isolated. I would call it pretty well isolated area. Very low population. The whole entire county has less than 2,000 people. The town itself is less than 600. So to work or to go to the grocery store or to especially the doctor, the doctors I go to are, well, my family practitioner is 30 miles away in another town. But any thing beyond that is 100 miles. Is the closest town with a medical center that is adequate enough to have, decent facilities and a broad range of services. Anyway, it's the one thing that's going to really be it's not going to be an easy thing to deal with is once my job ends in a little less than a month, the 22nd of January, will be gasoline to go anywhere. So it's going to be yes, it's true that I will save money by not having a job to go to, but by the same token, whenever I need anything, it's going to be a trip of at least 30 miles. So when you're in this position, you got to learn really quick, up front, how to consolidate trips and things like that. The other thing I wanted to mention, a big part of this spot that you find yourself in is your emotions and your state of mind. How do I look at what's coming? Honestly, to me, it's if you're facing an oncoming hurricane. The last hurricane that I had to walk through was 8.5 years ago. And while some things in life, or the things that happen to you, condition you, make you tougher, there's some things that are just going to hurt the same. It doesn't matter if they happen every year. Emotionally, I'm speaking in terms of. So it's frightening and it's exciting all at the same time. It's kind of hard to put quite into words, but I heard the phrase once that, in reference to older people doing things like this, as long as you're old enough to know better and young enough to try again, and that's the way I see myself at this age. I know it's going to be hard. I'm going to be facing several bias, which I've faced for years anyway, which the three, I can tell you right now, whether you like hearing it or not, the three bias that you're going to be dealing with in my position is number one, your age, number two, your gender, and number three, your race. If you're a white, middle-aged man looking for a job, you don't fit any of the typical profiles that big companies want. And your experience is irrelevant. But you might say, well, yeah, it's all relevant. No. My company that I work for right now is a perfect example. We have totally inept individuals who are kept on the payroll in the face of this deteriorating economy and the market for this business, that are kept on a payroll to satisfy an affirmative action quota. I mean, absolutely disastrous individuals in the workplace that should have been fired long ago. HR had told the supervisors, and this is things I have personal knowledge of, HR told the supervisors to take their name off the layoff list because they needed a certain number of da-da-da. Well, of course, that's genuine stupidity in our modern age, but anyway, it's a fact nonetheless. But I realized that the three things against me are my age, my sex, and my race. And it's just the quicker you acknowledge that, the quicker you're going to figure out ways to deal with it in the job marketplace. So I don't like it, and I think it's disgusting. It should be illegal, which technically it is, but those are routinely ignored. Affirmative action laws supersede, discrimination laws. It's just astonishing. We live in such a contradictory society, a government that's so inept that they're trying to please everyone. So, and they try to please who has the most of the biggest voting blocks. So, anyway, that all aside, it's a fact you're going to have to deal with, and I am going to point that out every step of the way. The employers who are honest will tell you. I've had several tell me over the years, I'm sorry, we just have to have this certain da-da-da. And a white man your age isn't in that da-da-da. And some of them are, I would rather have that kind of honesty any day than the typical HR lies. The one thing that absolutely makes me want to slap the taste out of their mouth is when you hear them say, well, we know you would be so much more qualified for someone else. It just makes me want to just slap the taste out of their mouth. That kind of BS. And or we know that you would be gone the first time a better position that you're more befitted for would come along. That's just crap. But anyway, more crap you got to deal with. The job market is not easy at all, and is getting harder all the time. The economy is an abomination right now. It may even take, engaging in some colorful, how shall I say, innovative tactics to land a job. So the best thing you can do is just present yourself in the very best light. Be 100% honest, because nothing will endanger your prospects at a job, and especially a new job, than saying you have something that you don't. But the fact that I appreciate honesty out of a prospective employer, the coin has two sides. They expect and demand honesty from you, and even small infractions can get you fired after you've landed a job, even a good job. So be totally upfront and honest about what you have and what you don't have, and what you can do, and what you can't do. And con artists, I see them all the time. And they get these high-paying jobs, and I've had to deal with them up where I work, and the thing is, they've never lasted. If you don't have the hardware, don't try to get the job. And it won't be long until the people find out whether you know what you said you knew or you don't. So keep it honest, keep it clean. Everybody is better off and safer that way. Anyway, this will tie up this update, and I'll be talking to you again.